He's just one of those people that you're gonna have a hard time predicting.
Yep.
Just flat out gonna have a hard time predicting.
Alright. We are recording. I'm paying attention.
Dun dun dun! Last time on D&D Alamar, our young friend, Arix, went out to pay his respects to the bear god. In the midst of the forest and tundra, he was ambushed by three, just in time to see them raise their blowguns and to have the darts pierce his scaly flesh. Struggling to maintain his consciousness, he slowly dropped to the tundra floor and blacked out. The first sensation you have upon waking is it's really fucking cold.
Yeah, that was a...
You hear the click-clack of small clawed feet moving about what sounds like stone. You hear whispered conversations in a raspy, slithering tongue that you recognize as that of your own people.
I'm assuming I'm bound in some manner.
As you feel about yourself, you do not find any sign of bindings.
Oh. Are the raspy voices saying anything of note, anything in particular? Or is it
They're
just...
too low for you to hear clearly. You simply can recognize the tongue.
Alright, well I suppose I will start by getting up. Just picking myself up off the ground, not... like, no quick movements kind of thing. I don't know what's around me, and I don't want to, I've just been captured. I don't want
Are you opening your eyes?
Yes.
As you open your eyes and you look about,
with that.
you find yourself in an icy blue chamber. The walls, ceiling, and floor all seem to be constructed of some weird stone-ice hybrid. Streets of stone seem to separate icy blue and icy white, ice paths. A lot of ice in there. Though you can see a warm red glow seems to reflect and bounce about this central chamber that you realize you are now standing in. You can see numerous. I feel like I'm not talking, or I'm talking with a lisp here. Jeez. Ugh. Numerous paths seem to branch out in all directions. A quick count. What's your intelligence?
8.
You're not very good at quick counting.
No.
Count more than the claws in your hands in terms of exits.
Actually, that's a good question. Is kobold 4 fingers, or is that...
Generally, they are 3 with an opposable. So yeah, 4.
Okay. Not that matters.
No. Yeah.
I believe any time
it matters, and that's how many you counted up to.
Well, I also think that in this campaign so far, if I've done something like that, I've been like, this many! So.
As you look up, you can see numerous blue and white scaled kobolds standing around what appears to be a massive, almost pseudo throne. It seems to be made of some hard whitened material. Your first thought is bone. Sitting atop it, what appears to be the fattest kobold you have ever seen.
Oh, I'm so curious now.
Well, he may be not much taller than yourself. He is at least as wide as you are tall.
Nice.
He sits back reclining with a silver staff clutched in one clawed hand, reclining on his bone-like throne. All about him you can see numerous guards, including one such kobold who seems to have manufactured a set of wings attached to his back, using straps. The wings seem to be made of some tattered leather, with holes and wooden struts holding the shape together in an open form.
Oh,
You see two kobolds as well carrying long hooked shepherd's crooks, at least long for kobolds. And you can see boxes strapped to their backs with various creatures that you somewhat recognize, though they seem to be altered for their environment. And finally, you see another form. Seems vaguely familiar to you. Though his scales are icy white and blue, you note his tail seems to have some kind of metallic spike attached to the end. Even just looking at it gives you shivers of cold. Give me a wisdom check.
wisdom's going to be a 17.
If it weren't for his scales, you'd swear it was Meepo. He seems to be speaking obsequiously to the fattened kobold and not looking in your direction.
I just kind of narrow my eyes and stare at the possible Meepo. Very confused and bewildered.
Confused and bewildered. Okay. Doing anything else? Saying anything? And we're just standing silently.
After a pause, I will... Excuse me, but... Why Arix here?
Your words seem to echo through the chamber. Echo. 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 The word chamber, burr, 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 seems to come at you and slam into you from all directions, causing you to momentarily wobble in shock. A number of the kobolds near you look sharply in your direction, their eyes closing to slits as they stare menacingly at you. One kobold walks up to you and jabs you with the butt of a spear. Stupid orange kobold! No speaky and give talk to!
Ow! Okay.
Sagging better than you! He turns and walks a few steps away.
What was the first part of that?
Sagging better than you. He looks over his shoulder, flashing a toothy grin. Sagging, eat your food!
I've just been told not to speak until spoken to and don't know what's going on. So I'm basically going to stand there with, I don't want to say like wringing my hands, but just kind of like doing that, like just like one hand in the other, kind of like twiddling thumbs while I wait for whatever is supposed to be next.
Okay. With a glare at you, you note that this Meepo lookalike ceases his conversation with the fat kobold and stomps angrily from the chamber, slamming his now metallic spiked tail against the ice occasionally as he walks down one of the far tunnels. Sorry. Urak calls silly orange kobold forward, says the fat kobold.
I will step forward. Towards
Why Orange Kobold work with mankind people?
for safety. Arix no have tribe.
Silly Orange Kobold no treasure?
No. Arix captured, sent to prison camp. Fleshies. New friends help escape.
What is prison camp? What is friends?
Prison camp, Arix made slave for humans.
Orak know this word. Yes, slave. What is friends? Friend slave?
Friends were slaves. We escape.
But friend's not your slave now?
No. But
You not friend slave.
Yes, not. Arix no slave.
Stop talking circles. Confusing Orak. You bring magic tribute?
Magic tree fruit?
Tribute.
Oh, magic tribute.
Orak like magic tribute.
Arix not have magic thing. Only had spike of bug. Believe.
Bah! Bah! Silly magic kobold say he fight and kill you. Why Orak no let that happen?
Silly magic kobold. Shit. Arix not know magic kobold, but Arix try not fight other kobold.
Not fight kobold. That's stupid. How know how hierarchy? Who know who boss? Must fight. Why Orak not let magic kobold kill him? Silly orange kobold.
Arix not fight kobold because Arix already have too much taken away. Not want take kobold away from others.
That's stupid. Maybe Orak just feed you to boss. Ooh. Orak no. Orak sacrifice to Aurel.
But if magic offering what you want, if have small green plant, I try to describe mistletoe, can make berries for you.
Berries? What kind meat berries?
Magic berries.
Magic meat?
Yes, like plant meat.
Yeah. Orak no like plant.
Just one berry takes whole day though.
Blah. Orak no like plant. Orak think sacrifice or good idea. He leans forward, a mischievous grin on his face. Convince Aurak otherwise.
I don't know what to do here.
That's the great part about D&D. Ha ha ha!
Why sacrifice Arix? There something else Arix do instead?
Sacrifice make Oral nicer. Oral very frigid bitch.
Yes, but maybe something Arix do that Icetails not want to?
What Arix do?
Maybe Beastie need be killed? Maybe Arix find Beastie and bring back for Ur?
Arix kill Orag?
If that means you no sacrifice Arix, then sure.
Orag not sure. You big enough to kill Orag. If Arix die to Orag, Orag gets stronger. Not good for Orag.
Arix's strength not in Arix's size.
That never strength of Kobold. You rather fight Magic Kobold or go kill Orag?
Not know either. But, like Arix say, Arix have too much taken away. Not want kill other kobold if help.
Other option, sacrifice Oral.
No.
Orag like all three.
Arix not like sacrifice. Arix fight the other thing.
Orag or Magic Kobold?
Orag.
Okay. You go kill Orag. Don't die. That way. And he points a clawed finger down a large tunnel to this. Well, you don't know. You don't know directions down here. So.
All right. I'm assuming they haven't taken my gear at this point.
Correct.
Okay. I will head.
Or at least
down.
as far as you know.
I will check for my gear real quick.
Let's see. What did you have on you?
Not terrible amounts. It was basically the short bow, a few arrows, sling with the pellets, some fletching supplies.
Do you have any daggers left?
One very crude one.
That one's missing.
Okay.
Most kobolds don't know what the fuck to do with a bow. They know what to do with a dagger.
That's fine. They can keep the they can keep the crude dagger. So I will take I will draw my. Well, no, I won't draw my bow in the throne room of sorts. I will head down the hall. That. What's his Ulrich?
Orog is what he said. Oh, this guy's the king?
Yeah.
Urok.
Urok. Okay.
U-R-A-K.
I'm going to head down the tunnel that Urok pointed out. And after I get a little bit away from the throne room, I will start to draw my bow and make sure everything's there, and be ready for what I don't know is ahead. How how's the lighting?
Well, you have dark vision, right?
I do,
So you can see fine.
but
There
I'm
seems to
asking
be
for the
a
gloom hunter purposes of it.
okay. There seemed to be a light glow reflecting from somewhere, providing minimal light, but for the most part, it's dark.
Okay.
If you didn't have dark vision, you could see about it would be about the lighting of a candle. So about 5 feet from you, you could see.
Okay. Um, again, I was asking for that purpose, and also because of the gloom hunter creatures who rely on dark vision to see me can't see me in the darkness.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And that's good to know.
So, um, I'm yeah. At this point, I'll start scouting down uh, the tunnel, being as stealthy as I can, so that I can avoid what it is I'm supposed to kill. I want to at least know what I'm fighting first.
Right.
Assuming perception heading down the hall, that's going to be a 22.
All right. As you head down the hall, your eyes seem to catch on intervals of what appears to be a crude attempt at what was clearly meant to be an ornate snowflake. And you seem to see multiples of these all about the tunnels as you go.
Is there any manner of pattern to them?
No, they seem to be an attempt at the same drawing, but they are crudely chiseled into the walls.
Okay. So they're not necessarily distinguishing anything.
No, not as far as you can tell.
Okay.
You note your claws seem to clack on the ice and stone of the ground, making it very hard to be quiet or stealthy. Any stealth attempts will be at disadvantage.
Um, Noticing that, I'm going to try to. Uh, skate is the wrong word, but I want to see if I can sort of like kind of glide my feet across the ground instead of clacking.
Give me an acrobatics check.
It's going to be a 23.
All right. You seem to have devised a new skill and hobby for yourself as you manage to raise your toes so your claws don't hit the ground and your padded foot seems to slide delicately and silently, making your movement awkward and slower, but nonetheless quiet.
All right. I will continue doing that, traveling forward.
All right. Are you trying to be stealthy at all or no?
Um, yes, I want to be. Knowing that I have the shadows to my advantage, I'm going to focus mainly on trying to stay quiet.
Okay.
Hence the improvised skating. But
As
I
you
do want to. I don't want to alert whatever it is ahead.
okay. As you continue to move down, you note the tunnel seems to be shrinking around you, forming into a bottleneck that would stop any creature much larger than yourself from continuing on. Give me a perception check.
Uh, 13.
Uh, you note that don't think you'd have any problem moving forward, though. If this whatever this Orog is much larger than a kobold, you have a feeling that he's stuck on the whatever it is stuck on the far side of wherever you are now. The scent of sickness and disease seems to hit your nostrils.
Um, I'll try to peer through to get a better look.
Perception?
What? Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, internet issues apparently. Don't know if that'll factor into the call. So far, nothing here. It's just the phones.
Woo!
Perception 17.
Alright, peering through, you can't see very far as you note the path seems to lose its icy sheen and turn to stone, unhewed stone, which seems to twist and turn. However, manage to pick up what sounds like the occasional grunt or slap of almost bare feet upon stone, echoing about, making you believe with a wisdom check
20, not net.
that a larger chamber exists not too much farther along.
All right. I will continue being careful of the transition from the icy sheen to the stone. I will head forward, trying to not barrel directly into the large chamber before I know.
Alright. As you slink forward,
Mine said it was disconnected, and now it says it's connected. I'm not sure. Try turning your Wi-Fi off and back on. No.
you see appears to be a set of emaciated hands tied and spiked through what appears to be a wooden pedestal. Beyond it, you see a larger chamber where you can see what appears to be a large, hulking, humanoid-like figure with its back to you. You can see what appears to be a number of massive pustules coating its body, from head to toe, running from small bumps and pus-filled nodes to much larger ones, literally the size of your own body. Few of them seem to be leaking green pus-like liquid, and the creature seems to shamble about. Its hands seem to be covered in some kind of white fabric or leather. Despite the rest of its green mottled flesh and yellowish pustules, its hands stand out as brighter white. A soft green glow seems to emanate from the pus, which has left in a trail meandering about the room. On the far side, you see what appears to be a crude altar with multiple sets of dual hands held up, spiked along it. And on the back, in what you can only assume to be either dried blood or mud, a larger symbol of the hands drawn crudely. You see a number of skulls and decayed bodies laying at the feet of this altar.
Assuming of the bodies, it's a heavy kobold presence.
Yes. though you do see what you'd assume to be young and enfeebled, older looking orc bodies as well.
Hmm. Well, I don't like the sound of any of this, but uh, so he's behind. He's in a large room behind some sort of barred door, or he's just
No,
trying
no. So
to.
you just see the two hands on a stick, clearly meant as a warning almost, as if whoever this is aware of this smaller tunnel but can't get through it.
Okay, so this thing is trapped just by proxy of being too large to fit.
As far as you can tell. You haven't looked about the room closely enough to see if there's another point of egress.
I'll glance about the room as best I can.
Alright, give me a disadvantage perception.
Disadvantage is going to be a 14.
As you look about the room, you realize there seems to be some kind of haze coming off the pus streams across the floor, making it difficult to see across the room very well, though you think you can see a larger exit point past the altar just a bit.
Alright, how do I want to play this?
I don't know. How do you want to play it?
You said he's leaving a trail and, like, a haze in his wake, basically, of whatever goo he's
He,
full of.
he seems to be leaking it from his various pustules.
I'm very wary about that. Do I have enough room were I to enter the room? Could I feasibly sneak around him?
Give me a wisdom check.
15.
You're not sure you could get around the room without stepping in at least one pustule stream or alerting him. You don't like your odds. And that appears in your mind in a flash, and then it's gone.
This is terrifying.
Okay, good. I'm doing it right then.
Like, I don't know what yours is, but I have some guesses, and I don't like the symbolism there, and I don't like this just flashing into my head. And especially because Arix doesn't know what any of it means, so it's just fear-inducing. I don't think I can sneak around him without stepping into one of the pustules.
Right. Or if you were to dodge them enough, you're not sure if you could make it without him spotting you.
So that's wary enough there. I'm not certain what's on the other side of the altar. I'm pretty sure at this point if I turn around they're going to feed me to Ulir.
Oral.
Oral, sorry. And I'm not sure what that means either. I gotta fight something?
going to give you the Indian head bob, which means alternatively yes and no, depending on context. It's my favorite human gesture.
Did anyone... There were no kobolds that, like, cared to witness this or anything. I just came down the hall alone.
To your knowledge, correct.
And there were no other branching paths for me to...
Not down the tunnel you came, no. Not that you saw.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. I'm going to... I've got a couple...
Give me another perception check.
21.
You feel your gaze drawn to something just beyond the weird altar that you see. You catch a glint of what looks to be a dagger. A very well-made dagger. The first thing that pops into your head is that you want this dagger. You don't know why.
Well, with little else to go on, I'm going to combine what I was just about to do with that information. What I'm going to do is I have a couple of bones on me that I've scavenged up. And
Okay.
I'm going to... I want to toss it into the room on the opposite, like, kind of away, so that I can sort of form a triangle, like, get this thing alerted over there and maybe heading in that direction so that I can head behind the altar.
So you're trying to throw it more towards the exit tunnel.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a ranged improvised throw attack.
I'll take that roll. That's going to be a 23.
Alright. With a desperate hurl, you chuck the bone until it clatters down the far hallway. What languages do you speak?
Common and Draconic.
You hear what sounds almost like gibberish. You're not sure if it's any actual language at all, or just a collection of odd sounds. As you see the figure turn to moss, or you're not quite sure if it's some kind of weird bone pustule even, seems to be growing off its two lower tusks, which jut from its mouth. As it attempts to speak, you can see its wart-covered tongue is overly large for its mouth, causing it great difficulties. As you can see tufts of hair and beady yellow eyes popping from the creature's face, almost indistinguishable from nearby pustules. It says, and walks a step or two in the direction with one white hand outstretched. You see it mutter a few words, and a shimmering aura seems to encase it. And it seems to create a protective veil as it walks in the direction of the bone clatter.
Alright, I'm going to let it get a little bit of a start, and then I'm going to try to stealth my way over to the dagger.
Stealth at disadvantage, please.
Love when it's like disadvantage and the difference is 1. 12.
Alright, you start to move silently, hoping not to be noticed as you head in the direction of the altar and the dagger. It's not long before you get your first whiff of the vapor coming off the pus. Give me a con save.
Figured that was coming. 15.
You feel your head growing light, dizzy. You have the urge to cough. You're not quite sure what's happening, but your eyes are burning. As you continue moving forward, maintaining your silence, and barely holding in the cough that wants to burst forth from your chest. As you reach the altar, you feel a malevolent, sickly presence. However, you get a better look at the dagger itself. It seems to be a long, curved, black iron blade with what appears to be a skull, a small skull, inset within the hilt. Two eyes, whether of ruby or something else, seem to pulse within the handle. And you hear a voice within your head. Lift me up and slay it. Murder it.
Well, that's all troublesome, but I don't have a better idea. Plus, Arix is dumb. And I don't think he would consider grabbing the dagger with something else. So, yeah. I'll pick up the dagger.
Alright, you instantly realize this is magic. A powerful magic. A drumming sound seems to echo through your ears. Though nobody else, the other creature in the room doesn't seem to react. It seems to grow so loud. Give me a wisdom check.
14.
You recognize the sound as a heartbeat, thrumming loudly in your ears. Thump thump, thump thump, thump thump.
Is it my heartbeat?
You don't know?
I'll try to kobold claw is that me? Am I this scared?
Give me an intelligence check.
12.
You realize the pulsing of the beat seems to be slightly off from your own heartbeat. As you focus on that, however, you're greeted by a as you look up to see the creature has spotted you. Initiative.
25.
Yeah, you go first.
Good old Gloom Hunter. Alright, so you said it's a curved black iron dagger?
Yeah, almost the size of a short sword.
Alright, so I'm going to try... How far away is this?
About 15 feet from you.
15 feet?
The chamber, all told, is about 25 or 30 feet, depending on where in the tunnel you go, that cavern you go.
You said this thing was pretty big. Do I think it'd be
You would estimate him about 7 feet tall,
okay,
and
so
wide and covered in large pustules.
So not necessarily reach big, but big.
Compared to you, he's massive. Yes.
Yeah. I do all big things have to have strength saving benefits. I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to... Uh, no, I guess I have to get close enough for that one. Sorry, looking something up real quick. Trying to make sure I do this the right way. Alright, I don't see it worded in a way that this wouldn't work. So I'll try it that way. What I'm going to do is... I got 40 feet of movement I have to burn. Let's see. Oh, no, it does, I don't have to take the movement to do it. Okay. I don't think. For the Dread Ambusher, it says at the start of your first turn of each combat, your walking speed increases by 10 feet, less until the end of that turn. If you take the attack action on that turn, you can make one additional weapon attack as part of that action.
Right.
So I don't have to take the movement to get the
Right.
attack, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Now, based on that wording, I think I can pull this off. So,
Okay.
what I'm going to do is I want to fire 2 shots, as I would, but I want to double up the second one. As a bonus action, I'm going to cast Hail of Thorns for when a ranged attack hits. Or I suppose I could do that at the start so that one of the 2 shots would hit and trigger it.
That's a bonus action to cast it?
Yep.
And it's not a bonus action to take the second attack?
It doesn't say it is. Looking at Dread Ambusher, it says if you take the attack action on that turn, you can make one additional weapon attack as part of that action.
Okay. Great, yeah. Yeah, that's all doable.
So, my first shot is going to be a 21.
21 hits.
Alright. And go ahead and look up, or do Hail of Thorns off that since I connected. Target of the attack and each creature within 5 feet of it have to make a dex save.
It failed.
Alright, so it's going to take an additional d10 piercing damage.
Okay.
So 6, 11, 14, So it's 11 damage from the arrow. It's 8 damage from the piercing from the hail of thorns. And then my second attack is a 17.
Hits.
Which will be 9 damage from the arrow and Colossus Slayer for another 6.
Alright, with each attack, you note more and more of the pustules on the creature's body seem to burst, oozing out massive flood of gushing pus. The air around you seems to grow even harsher. Give me a con save.
18.
Alright, you feel your stomach start to roll. You feel quite a bit queasy. Your eyes seem to burn, causing you to blink rapidly. Ranged attacks from here on are at disadvantage. Your head still feels quite light. And you fear what greater exposure may do to you. The creature seems to gurgle a gibberish response at you as it stumbles forward. It suddenly moves. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was gonna ask. I know you said the room's only like 25 feet, but is it with the attacks and having it cloud up? Is there? I suppose I couldn't really see. I was gonna ask if it was condensed to like one side of the room, if I could move to the other for like a more free air, or if it's just kind of everywhere.
So it seemed to be this guy had been wandering about the room, and there was a meandering trail of pus all about the room. As you hit him, some of the larger sacks burst and created a small stream that seemed to go in all directions.
Okay, so there's no... Okay.
Alright. With a roar, the creature stumbles a step or two, and then suddenly its pace quickens, and you find yourself staring up at this horrid, disgusting beast. Just being this close, the pus seems to burn your eyes even greater. What's your AC?
15.
Its claws seem to drive into your flesh. Dealing 8 points of slashing damage and 3 points necrotic.
Good thing I used those health die.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be in real trouble otherwise.
I think that would have killed me otherwise.
Yeah, might have.
I was not in a good position.
The creature and a green-black glow seems to emanate from its form. Please give me a Constitution saving throw.
Nat 20.
All right. You blink your eyes rapidly, and despite whatever the creature's attempt was, you find your eyes seeming to clear a bit and adapting to the haze. It's definitely uncomfortable to still be in this room, let alone close to this beast. But whatever it was attempting, failed. Your turn.
Alright, forsaking the bow in favor of the black iron blade. So that's about as big as a short sword, almost?
Just shy, yeah.
I don't think I can...
So normally a curved dagger would be about that big, maybe that big. This is about a little over a foot in blade.
Alright.
With a winding blade.
Give me 1 second on that. I have to go scare my daughter. She's
Okay, I'm going to go change my better then.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that.
Oh, he's back.
So I don't really
Big
think.
pustule-ridden thing looming over you just hit you with nasty claws, which dealt necrotic damage.
Right.
What do you do?
And I think based on the size of it and the size of the blade, I can't really. I don't think it'd be much to my advantage to try to clamber onto this thing to attack from a different position. Can I give you like wisdom to see if blade size would work with that or not?
Nope.
I'm just gonna stay on the ground and attack with this blade.
You're attacking with the dagger?
Yes.
So you're dropping your bow and drawing the dagger.
Yes.
Okay.
No strength modifier. Shit. Yep. 16.
Hits.
All right. So
Roll as a normal dagger for now.
3 damage.
Yes. Strike him in the back. Bring him low. And sacrifice him upon his own altar. Alright, 3 damage. Anything else?
Okay, I guess. Weird voice thing. Paul. Paul?
Oh boy.
Sorry, I'm trying to play it.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
You know what I'm saying, though.
I think you're saying ball.
Okay. As long as you know what I'm saying, you can play it how you want in character.
I've decided that if this is going to be a cursed weapon, I might as well fuck with it.
Who said it's a cursed weapon?
Also, it seems like something Arix would do.
Fair.
I'm assuming cursed, what with discordant voices and images and telling me to murder things on their own altars.
Well, learn as you go.
When I said I was in search of a different god, I didn't know that this was going to be the direction I headed in.
Well, you had an option for a different one, but you went this way.
Yeah, I didn't know if the other thing was going to be a bear or not.
Who said it was going to be anything about a bear?
Well, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
All right. The creature before you roars once again. And you see some glowing green energy bursting up within it. And the creature spews a massive flow of vomit at you. Dexterity save.
21.
All right. You take 10 points of acid damage and make a con save with advantage.
Con with advantage is going to be a 19.
Good. You did not want to fail that.
I did not think so. There's a lot of saves going on right now that I really don't think I should fail if I can help it, you know?
Yeah. You're up.
Alright, well, taking the key from the blade, I'm going to move...
Normal kobold would be dead by now if it makes you feel better.
I gathered that from the bodies. I'm going to move around to the back of the creature.
Yep.
And attack again with the blade.
Alright. Go ahead.
Another 16.
Add plus 2d6 to your damage.
Oh. That'll be 11. 9 of it was bonus damage. If that's
Nice.
that's worth note.
The creature gurgles, and you have to dodge quickly as a large pustule on its back bursts. The creature drops to its knees, its head slowly turning unnaturally far to stare at you. Strike him now. Pierce the neck. You get a bonus attack.
Okay. Since he's staring unnaturally at me, if I can add a little bit of flavor, I'm just going to wave. Hi, I'm Arix. This goes here now, and I'm just gonna put the blade in his neck.
Attack roll.
14.
14. The blade pierces the creature's neck. You can feel a dark energy rush from the creature to the blade and up your arm, healing you for 20 points.
Healing for 20?
Yes.
Oh my.
You are now bound to the ritual dagger of Baal. Bhaal. All that it does, you don't know.
Right, yeah.
But you can make your own inferences from what's happened here.
Lifesteal, I would equate it as. You have me at -1, or down 1, rather, sorry.
I had you at 9 of 34. Now I have you at 5 of 29. Unless you had more damage that I missed.
I might have missed the roll. I had, let's see, I took 8, 3, 10.
Alright, we'll put you at 21. That's fine. Or, yeah. We'll put you at 21. That's fine with me. I'm not going to argue. You do a better job of tracking your own HP than I do. I generally assume, at least.
Well, I try to be accurate with...
Unless you're Ryan, and then I have to tell you how to calculate your health.
I try to be accurate with health and arrow counts and whatnot, so...
I appreciate that, especially as I asked for the arrow counts this time around. So.
I don't have many.
No, you don't. As you do, the creature's body, moments before filled with pus, seems to drain in upon itself, leaving a desiccated, twisted piece of body of what you can only assume now was once an orc, though the extra flabs of skin that were once stretched by the pustule nodes across its body lie flat and empty. Yes.
Alright, just confirm.
As the creature lies, its last ounces of blood spilling from the wounds you've given it, you feel a presence, one leave and one rise in power around you. You will be my new disciple. Spread death. Spread murder in my name. And I will grant you great power.
In fairness, this isn't against Arix.
I know.
As a lawful evil kobold.
I know.
Not that the rest of the party will be happy, but they don't have to know. Okay, Paul.
I hate you. Do not try my patience. My blessings can become curses. You will call me Baal.
Okay, I think I hear you. You're kind of far away, but okay, Ball.
Hey, okay. I wasn't sure if you were going to go with it or not. If you're going to try it again. I was like, is he going to do it again? Is he going to do it again?
Don't taunt the murderous dagger too much.
Don't taunt the god of murder too much.
Alright, well, fair. Maybe I saved that for introductions. This is Paul. I'm sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
With the orc being dead, I'll look about the room. Assuming I can sort of better as things dissipate.
The haze is still filling the room. Unfortunately, the pus about it, though it does seem to be starting to thin, which it hadn't through the whole fight, it is still quite present.
Okay. I will reclaim my short bow. Give a quick peer out of the larger exit,
Yep.
just to sort of see what's out that side.
You can tell that the stone cavern seems to go upwards quite a bit, but you can't see the exit all the way up there.
Okay. With the diminished state of the orc, could I drag it?
Are you going to touch it?
Is there a spot I feel like I could?
You can touch it anywhere.
Well, like one that's not necessarily...
Every bit of it has stretched out, dried out flesh hanging from it.
Well, yeah, but I'm fine with stretched and dried out flesh. I just don't want to, like, hey, look at this open wound.
You don't have... Yeah, you can grab it where you didn't cut it. But, I mean, where the pustules used to be is just extra flaps of skin hanging off of this desiccated corpse now.
Yeah, as long as it's just, like, extra skin or whatnot. I just don't want to, like, put my hand in any of the goo. Like,
alright, what is your strength?
Kind of thing. Strength's a 10, so...
Yeah, you lift up a foot and you have no problem dragging it a little bit.
Alright, I'm going to drag this body back towards Arix.
Going back to the kobolds, okay. I wasn't sure where you're going to go with it.
I may be evil, but I still want to attempt to, like, I don't know, domesticate kobolds or so.
Yeah, fair. Alright. You start progress on dragging it back. As you do so, you have a little bit of trouble getting it through the opening, but not as much as you would have, especially as most of the flesh of the creature seems to have melted away, to put it for lack of better terms. As you drag it back, you are greeted by cheers, shocked gasps, as you see numerous Icetails jumping up and down, celebratory, as they see you dragging it back.
Before I enter the throne room, I want to, as best I can, try to conceal the dagger.
At that thought, the dagger seems to vanish from your side, though you can still feel it there.
Oh. Alright. Spectral blade of ball.
God of Murder knows a bit about stealth.
I would imagine, yes.
It's no Aladamara, but he's a little more violent.
Yeah. By the way, your description with the skull and whatnot, is that image that you shared basically what I was looking at on the dagger?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Just
That's pretty much what's on the hilt, yes.
yeah, just for curiosity purposes. Alright, yeah, so dragging the orc back to the throne.
You killed the Orc? Orc says, leaning forward, his eyes wide.
Well, he's dead and Arix not, so yes.
Amazing! We have feast then! Celebrate!
Feast sounds good.
You... Arix? Yes?
Yes, Arix.
Arix, you my new bodyguard.
Much better. Much better bodyguard than sacrifice.
He smiles toothily. Give me a perception check.
17.
As you look about the room, you catch a fleeting glimpse of a metallic tail disappearing down a tunnel.
That's fair.
Over the next couple hours, you are feasted and lauded in a way only that kobolds can. As you see numerous kobolds fight to the death over a scrap of meat or two. The rest seem to cheer happily as they rip and tear at the carcass of a few wild animals that were dragged in from somewhere. You are given more than your fair share and lauded with random small stones that seem to glitter and glow. A few daggers and crude spears are placed at your feet in honor of your victory. It's not long.
Thank you. Arix is pretty great.
It's not long before many of the kobolds fall asleep where they are, their stomachs distended as they've gorged themselves. Arix sits upon his throne, snoring, his arm still cradling the large silver staff. You realize you are the last kobold awake.
I don't know my way out of this place. You said that wild creatures were brought in during the feast. Any particular tunnels that I can recall them being ushered in from?
Give me a wisdom check.
15.
You remember one particular tunnel to the rear of the throne from which you recall they were dragged from.
Alright, I'm going to try to quietly make my way out that tunnel.
Alright, give me an acrobatics check to be silent and a stealth check to actually move quietly.
Acrobatics is going to be a 17.
Assuming you want to do your claws up thing again.
I will absolutely attempt that.
Okay.
So acrobatics is going to be a 17, and my stealth is going to be a 23.
Alright, you managed to stealthily leave the throne room, leaving the snoring kobolds all around, and make your way down the passage. Unfortunately, you haven't gone 30 feet before you find yourself standing in what you can only assume to be the kobold's larder.
Oh boy. Is there anything of note?
Not really. You note that there seem to be a few animal carcasses in here, and one corpse of a larger orc strung up. Outside of that, you see a few smashed crates, a ripped bag or two that clearly once held grain or something along those lines. But other than that, no.
And no other paths out of the larder, I assume.
From the larder, no.
Alright. Backtracking to the throne room and trying a different tunnel.
Your eyes are drawn to the sleeping Urach.
Just waiting for you to throw that out there.
Not seeing if you're going to go that direction on your own.
I thought about it. But I want to try to be crafty about it anyway. How many of his... Because I know you had described before that there were a number of guards near him.
Yep.
Assuming that's still kind of the case.
They are still nearby, though they are snoring and gorged as well.
I'm going to. What weapons do they have near them?
Two of them, as I said, seem to have large shepherd crooks. You note a few that have crude spears, and you see one with uh, what appears to be a decently crafted short sword. And of course, Orok with his staff.
All right. I'm going to try to do the best I can to make this look like a murder that wasn't me. I will try to. Is there anything I can sort of position the spears against or into so that my initial thought is set the spear so that I can use the crook to pull him onto it.
Give me an intelligence check.
13.
All right. The best you can come up with is moving a piece of what's left of the carcass as a fulcrum and bracing the butt of the spear underneath one of the sleeping kobolds.
I'll give it a shot.
All right. Give me a dexterity check to do it without waking the kobold up.
Dirty 20.
All right. You have no problem silently shifting the carcass and then slowly, silently placing the spear so it's leveraged just under the kobold's body without waking him up. The point points directly at Urok.
All right. Shepherd's crook from nearby guard and pull Urok onto the spear.
All right, give me a dexterity check to maneuver him properly, and then a strength check to pull him hard enough.
Dex check's going to be a 16.
Good.
Come on, strength, don't fail me now. 17.
Hey! With a slow, silent movement, you move it up just behind Urok's neck. With a sudden jerk of strength, you pull him forward. His eyes go wide with a start as his body falls forward. Blood starts pouring from his mouth as the spear punches through his chest. The kobold wielding the spear, or with the spear leveraged under him, is rolled over to his side and awakens. What's going on?
Nothing happening. You go back to sleep. You're still full of the beast, right?
Yeah, night. And he rolls back over and goes to sleep.
With my crafty murder setup that I just did.
Excellent.
I nod at my handiwork.
I am pleased.
That's good. Eric still not know how to get out of here. Can we do that as like an internal monologue?
Yeah,
Like, okay.
if you want.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll try to. I don't want to speak and alert any kobold to my presence, kind of thing. But I also don't know if this can hear my thoughts.
A good murderer must have a good escape to survive for the next. Take the blood of your victim and adorn your forehead with my eyes, and I will guide you.
I will try to put eyes on my forehead with Uruk's blood.
All right. Give me a dexterity check. See how good your painting is.
Well, Dex is my strong suit. My die is working with me tonight. 24.
Yeah, I can tell. You've gotten like nothing but 13 has been your lowest, I think. So what was it? Sorry.
23.
Yeah. Okay. Um, your vision seems to double, triple, and then go back to normal, and you can see what appears to be a glowing line or river of blood flowing from your feet through one of the passages.
I will head down that passage.
All right. Give me. Are you going stealthily? Or are you going
Oh,
just
yeah.
moving normally?
No, I'm going stealthily.
All right. It takes you about an hour of following this weird mystical blood trail. When it fades, you can see the light of the sun coming from a cave opening just ahead.
With the sun's presence, I will attempt to wipe the blood from my forehead.
It's crackled and dried and flakes off at your touch.
Okay. And yeah. Sorry. My daughter just finished her bath time. She comes around the corner with just a bib of, it's just a Wonder Woman bib. And she just goes, "Look, I'm Wonder Woman."
That movie would have gotten even better ratings if that's how it worked.
Did pretty well anyway, but Gal Gadot
Yeah,
like that.
I said even better.
Yep, you're Wonder Woman. Alright, I will try to... I'm gonna head back towards town.
Alright, as you breach the surface, you hear, "Come to me in the north. We have a god to kill." And we'll end there.
Alright.
Yeah, there are a number of ways to die and a number of different items you could have walked out with.